Hi guys, and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is, of course, Cameron, and welcome back today to another video. It is the weekly news roundup, the show where we sit down and we talk about all of the latest Everton news from the last 7 days or so. Loads of news to go over today, including some unfortunate injury news. We're going to talk about a new Everton mural in Liverpool city centre. We're also going to talk about fans returning to Goodison Park as well. It's been an absolute manic week in regards to new information regarding fans returning to stadiums and various other things as well. So we'll dive straight into it. Look, the biggest bit of news coming out of Everton Football Club this week is that Luca Digne has unfortunately picked up an ankle injury in training. He has picked up some ligament damage and is set to be sidelined for up to 2 to 3 months. Carlo Ancelotti was asked about Luca Digne's injury in his pre-game press conference today ahead of tomorrow's game against Leeds. The first bits of information regarding it came out yesterday. France Football reported that he looks set to be out for 2 months, and then a lot of other journalists got onto it, and then Everton finally did confirm it yesterday. Carlo Ancelotti said today that we have to be able to cope without Luca Digne, and we have to be able to manage this situation for what could be 2 to 3 months. So very, very unfortunate for Luca Digne. Obviously was absolutely fantastic last week against Fulham. Another couple of assists for him. He's got more assists than any other defender in the Premier League this season. He's had a very, very good start to the season. So it's a really, really unfortunate injury for Luca Digne to be picking up. And it's at a time when we just can't really afford to have our key players out injured. You know, the December fixtures have been changed around and chopped and changed for television and stuff like that, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in this video. And Luca Digne was going to play a massive, massive part in that busy schedule we've got over Christmas. And of course, now he looks set to miss it. The hope is that Luca Digne can recover, and we know he'll come back stronger, and hopefully he's not out for too long. But unfortunately, he does look set to be sidelined for at least 2 to 3 months with ligament damage in his ankle that was sustained during a training session earlier this week. A little bit frustrating, really, because look, you can't avoid injuries, and it's nobody's fault, but we do seem to be picking up an awful lot of injuries in training, and players do seem to be getting these types of injuries which are keeping them out for months on end, during training sessions, and it is a little bit frustrating, obviously. But look, we wish Luca Digne obviously the best of recovery. We know he'll come back stronger. He's an absolutely brilliant player, best left back in Europe for me. Carlo Ancelotti said it today. Obviously we're going to miss having one of the the best left backs in the world sort of out injured. And we will massively miss him. It's a big opportunity for Niles Nkunku now to step up. Hopefully Niles Nkunku does get that chance. I know some people have spoken about maybe Fabian Delph going in there, but I think for me, you've got to put Nkunku in there. You've got to give him that opportunity. You've got to give him that chance. And if Nkunku can't perform at the level that we need him to, then you've got the fallback option of putting Fabian Delph at left back if need be. But for me, it absolutely has to be Niles Nkunku who goes in there to replace Luca Digne. But that's probably the biggest bit of news this week coming out of Everton Football Club. Very unfortunate bit of news regarding Luca Digne there. It was confirmed on Thursday that Liverpool City as a region will be going into Tier 2 lockdown restrictions. The government announced their tiers restrictions for all of the different areas in the country, and Liverpool itself as a region was placed under Tier 2, which of course does mean that we are allowed 2,000 fans back at Goodison Park. We spoke about this on Tuesday night. It was announced on Monday night that those teams that are within areas under Tier 1 and Tier 2 restrictions will be allowed fans back in stadiums. Those teams in areas under Tier 3 restrictions won't be. So we were eagerly awaiting the announcement yesterday as to regarding where Liverpool will be placed. It was announced that we will be placed under Tier 2, and then Everton revealed a little bit shortly after that they will be backing the programme and hopefully allowing 2,000 fans, or up to 2,000 fans, back into Goodison Park, starting with the Chelsea game, which I believe is on the 12th of December. We were asked questions about this on Tuesday about what happens to fans travelling in from outside of Liverpool if they live in areas that aren't under Tier 2 restrictions but they're still season ticket holders. What happens? We have got a bit of information regarding that. Alan Myers did tweet out today saying there's been a bit of news as to state that no fan who lives outside of the city and lives in an area that is under Tier 3 restrictions should travel, because football matches aren't deemed as essential travel. I'm not too sure how football matches can on one hand be deemed as non-essential travel, but then you've got some people saying that footballers are essential workers. It doesn't really make an awful lot of sense, but we did fear that would be the case. It's not a surprise. It is very unfortunate because there's going to be a lot of Everton season ticket holders that would have had their names in that ballot to be picked out to return to Goodison Park, who now won't be able to because they don't live within the Liverpool City region. But again, it's one of many, many questions that we sat down and spoke about on Tuesday that need to be answered. And you know, this is a very, very positive step going forward in terms of, obviously, you know, us getting fans back into the stadiums. Carlo Ancelotti spoke about it today. He said, look, you know, it's not ideal. It's not 40,000 fans, which is, of course, what we all want. But he said, listen, if you're in Tier 3, I wouldn't worry about it an awful lot, because 2 weeks ago, Liverpool as a city were in Tier 3, and now we're in Tier 2, and now we're allowed fans back in the stadium. So those areas in Tier 3, you know, if the testing programs go well and the infection rates drop, then in 2 weeks they could drop down to Tier 2 and they might be allowed fans back in their stadiums. But he said it's a massive step forward for football, not just Evertonians, and he's right. It is a massive, massive step forward for football, but it absolutely has to be done well. So there you go. Liverpool City Centre has been placed under Tier 2 lockdown restrictions, which does, of course, mean Everton are allowed up to 2,000 fans back into Goodison Park, which is a step forward. Listen, it's not ideal, and I do understand those fans that are saying, you know, I don't want to go back the game until everybody's allowed back the game, and I get that, but the reality of that situation is, you know, we're going to be waiting an awful long time before we're all back at Goodison Park. And for me, you know, I've massively, massively missed walking down City Road on a Saturday afternoon going to watch Everton Football Club. So if my name gets picked out the hat and everything's okay and it's done safely, then I'll be going back to watch Everton. It won't be great, the atmosphere won't be, you know, great. Obviously, we'll all be sat apart, we'll probably all have to have masks on, but you know, it's a step forward ultimately at the end of the day, and you know, as long as it's done properly, which it absolutely has to be, then I think it'll be a success. But there's still a lot of things to answer regarding that, but that is another big bit of news coming out of the football club this week, is that because because Liverpool as a city is being placed under Tier 2 restrictions, we will be allowed up to 2,000 fans back at Goodison Park. Everton, there is a new Everton mural up in Liverpool City Centre. This is something that we've been speaking about for a long, long time. We actually had Paul from Kit It Out on the channel a few months back, and he spoke about the need to have an Everton mural within the city of Liverpool. He said there's a lot of Liverpool Football Club murals, and they get a lot of attention from people coming into the city. And he said there's an absolute need for an Everton mural, and today that mural has been finished through the fantastic, fantastic hard work of Paul, as well as the graffiti artists, of course, who, you know, come down today all the way from London and made this a reality. It's absolutely brilliant. You can go down, you can visit it yourself. It's on Newhall Street in Liverpool 1, right by the Baltic Market, right by Camp and Furnace as well, if you're familiar with that area. It's absolutely fantastic. It features Dixie Dean, Alan Ball, Howard Kendall, Neville Southall, Leighton Baines, and of course the famous quote from Alan Ball, which says, once Everton has touched you, nothing will be the same. We have a little video up on our channel, a little 2-minute video where I nipped down today to have a look at it and to take some pictures of the final product. So if you haven't checked that out, please do check that out to have a first glance of the mural. But I said it in that video and I'll say it again, look, it looks absolutely amazing on pictures, it looks absolutely amazing on videos, but nothing compares to going and seeing it in real life. It is utterly, utterly amazing, and a big well done, and a big congratulations to Paul for getting it all organised, because I know it wasn't an easy process in regards to planning permission, getting the GoFundMe page sorted out, organising the artists, of course, to come down from London as well. I know that that's no easy foot, and Paul went through an awful lot of trouble trying to get this sorted, and months of hard work, and now finally he can, you know, turn up to Liverpool 1 and see the Everton mural on display. It's absolutely fantastic. If you can, if you're within the area and COVID restrictions, you know, allow you to, then please do go down and check it out. Like I said, Newhall Street, Liverpool 1, by the Baltic Market. It's absolutely brilliant. It really is, and it's definitely worth a look. If you can't get down yet, like I said, we did upload a video, you can have a little look at that. There's pictures all over social media. Everton have tweeted it out, we've had loads of pictures on our social media. Paul's got loads of pictures on his Kit It Out 1 on Twitter, so definitely go and follow him. We'll leave those links in the description. It's absolutely brilliant. It's something that's been needed for a long time, and it's something that's been coming for a long time, so please do go and check that out. Everton confirmed some fixture changes for their December schedule due to television showing certain games. They confirmed this yesterday. Every fixture, I believe, in December, other than the Carabao Cup game against Manchester United, has been changed, and it starts with our fixture against Burnley on Saturday the 5th of December. That is now a 12:30 PM kickoff and live on BT Sport. We then play Chelsea at home on Saturday the 12th of December, which is the first game that they are proposed to allow fans back in the stadium. That is an 8 p.m. kickoff, and again live on BT Sport. We then play Leicester away from home the following Wednesday the 16th of December. That is live on Amazon Prime Sport. We then play Arsenal at Goodison Park again on the Saturday the 19th of December. That is a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. That is live on Sky Sports. We then of course play Manchester United on the 23rd, so only a couple of days later. That is on Sky Sports, I believe, at 8 p.m. kickoff in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. We then play Sheffield United away from home on Boxing Day, 26th of December, 8 p.m. kickoff. Why we've got an 8 p.m. kickoff on Boxing Day is beyond me. That is live on BT Sport. And then on the 28th of December, we play Manchester City at Goodison Park live on Amazon Prime. So there you go. A very, very busy December period for Everton Football Club. It always, without fail, is a busy December period for Everton. And, you know, it's becoming to the point now where you look at those fixtures and we play Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Leicester, Sheffield United and Manchester United within the space of 2.5 weeks. You know, we're playing games, one on a Saturday, one on a Wednesday, one on a Saturday, one on the Tuesday. We're literally having about 2 days rest on average in between games of football there, and that's why we've got so many late kickoffs. I think there's 3 8 o'clock kickoffs, 4 including the Carabao Cup game against Manchester United, a couple of half fives there as well, and all of those games have been changed and mixed around for television, right? So it's going to be a very, very, very busy period, December, as it always is for Everton Football Club. We never ever have it easy in December, not only in terms of the amount of games that we play, but also the sides that we play in December. We always seem to play the toughest games in December, and you know, the fixture list has been sort of shuffled due to television rights. So that is the latest fixture list for December. Again, we play early on in January as well, so there's another game after the Manchester City game only a couple of days later, but that one hasn't been announced yet whether or not it will change or stay the same. So a very, very busy December period for Everton Football Club. Very frustrating really when you look at other sides and how easy their games are over December. And I mean, no game's an easy game in the Premier League, but very rare the teams get, you know, all of the toughest sides, you know, barring maybe one within 2 weeks of each other, 6 games within 2 weeks or something mad like that. But there you go. Those are the new December fixtures that were changed yesterday and officially announced by the football club. Carlo Ancelotti has had his pre-game press conference today ahead of tomorrow's Premier League fixture against Leeds United at 5:30 p.m. Carlo started off the press conference by talking about the late great footballing legend Maradona, who sadly passed away earlier on this week. He was asked a question about him and he said, "I have a good memory of him. He was my opponent. He became my friend. I had a really good relationship with him. He was a really good guy, really humble. The memory is still there. He helped football with his skills and ability." He said, "He is the best player at the time, the best player I ever played against. I'm going to keep the memories of him all the time. I'm going to keep the fantastic memories of him all the time. It was really difficult to stop Maradona. It's really good for football to have these types of players." Of course, the passing of Diego Maradona absolutely shook the footballing world earlier on this week. It's very, very, very sad. He truly is a footballing giant, a footballing great, one of the, if not the best footballers to ever grace this planet. And he did have his battles with Carlo Ancelotti on and, you know, off the pitch, more so on the pitch. And Carlo spoke about how he was his opponent when he was playing, but then he became his friend and he had a lot of respect for him, which of course is absolutely fantastic to hear. And it is still massively, massively sad that unfortunately Diego Maradona did pass away. Carlo then went on to talk about Luca Digne and his injury. He said, "Luca Digne has an injury. It is a big loss because he is a fantastic left back, one of the best left backs in Europe. It's a loss, but we have to manage this. Unfortunately, during a season, you can lose important players. We have to manage this this situation." He then said, "We have to be able to manage the loss of Luca Digne for 2 to 3 months." He was asked then about Seamus Coleman and John Joe Kenny and their fitness. He said, "Seamus Coleman is doing his individual rehab. He won't be available for this game," meaning the Leeds game. "I hope soon he will be available. We have to check this week by week." He was then asked about the replacements for Seamus Coleman and obviously Luca Digne. He said, "We have a good squad. We have a good substitute in that position. We have Nkunku, who doesn't have experience in the Premier League, but he's shown his quality in games he's played. We have John Joe Kenny on the right. He's been a player since the academy." He spoke about supporters returning to football grounds. He said, "This is really good news for the Premier League, not only for Everton. It's true that Everton supporters supporters are allowed, for sure it will be an advantage to have our supporters at Goodison Park, and it will be a disadvantage when we play away. Everybody hopes that all supporters will be allowed as soon as possible to go to stadiums to support their team. Which is absolutely spot on. Of course, he was asked about our defensive mistakes and you know, the defensive play over the last couple of weeks or so. He said, of course, we have to be worried. Of course, we have to be concerned. We have to be worried. We're conceding too many goals, and we're working on this. We need one word, and that is balanced. He spoke about the return to the Premier League, his return to the Premier League, and what he's enjoyed the most. He said not much has changed in regards to the football. What surprised me more is the beauty of this area. The area is really nice, in my opinion. Of course, talking about Crosby there. He absolutely loves to talk about Crosby, doesn't he? Really, really does. He spoke about Alex Iwobi. He said, I was happy with Alex's performance. He done well. I think he can cover the position at wing back. Alex is a good player when he feels confident. This is the same for all players. And then he spoke about Andre Gomez and Jean-Philippe Gabam, and he said on Andre Gomez, one of the most important aspects is to manage the players who aren't playing in this moment. He still is an important player for us. It doesn't matter how many games he plays until the end of the season. And then he was asked directly about Jean-Philippe Gabamen's fitness and when he will return. And he said, Jean-Philippe Gabamen in 2 weeks will be here. We decided to leave him to finish his rehab individually. I think in 2 weeks he'll be here and ready to play. So there you go. He also spoke about Dominic Calvert-Lewin and James Rodriguez and other situations as well. But that was pretty much the roundup of Carlo Ancelotti's pre-game press conference. If you want to find out about everything that he said near enough word for word, then go over and check us out on Twitter at MightyBluesYT. We've put it all over there. But yeah, Carlo Ancelotti there talking about how Everton need to improve defensively. That's something that we all know. It's not something that, you know, we've been hidden against. We are not good enough defensively. We've been very, very poor in recent weeks, and that needs to change. And obviously speaking about the fitness of some key players there, Seamus Coleman, John Joe Kenny, we said isn't 100% fit but may feature tomorrow, and of course Luca Digne there as well. Rumour regarding an Everton youngster now, Thierry Small has been linked to Bayern Munich by Mail Sport as well as Juventus. The article stated that Bayern Munich see him as a very close comparison to their left back Alphonso Davies. They also said that Bayern see him as the best left back in the world currently in his age group. He is a very, very good young player in the academy, currently playing in the under-18s. Scored a couple of goals so far this season, very creative, gets forward, and a very, very good young player. And for me, Everton need to be doing as much as they possibly can to keep a hold of Thierry Small, because he is very, very good. And, you know, obviously, listen, there mightn't be an awful lot in this rumour, but if there is, then, you know, maybe it's going to be difficult for us to be able to keep hold of him if a team like Bayern Munich comes knocking, but that has to be the number one priority. Final couple of things now. Unfortunately, today, it is 9 years since we lost Gary Speed, the Everton legend and footballing legend. Unfortunately, passed away 9 years ago to this day. His memory will live on in Evertonians' hearts forever, and we do wish his family and friends all the best on this very, very tough day. It was Thanksgiving in America yesterday, so I want to say a big, big happy Thanksgiving to all of our American viewers, subscribers, all of the American Evertonians. We hope you did have a fantastic, fantastic day. And the final bit of news, little bit of positivity regarding Luca Digne. Luca Digne did receive a FIFA 21 Team of the Week card this week for his performance last week against Fulham. Obviously, he's picked up an injury now, which isn't great, but if you play FIFA, if you're into those games, then definitely go and check out Luca Digne's FIFA 21 Team of the Week card for this week. That's going to do it for today's weekly news roundup. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to subscribe. Really, really do appreciate all of the support. Don't forget to check out the game preview ahead of our Premier League fixture tomorrow against Leeds. Really, really do appreciate that. Subscribe if you're new. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave the video a like, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.